Welcome YouTube to Complete Lifestyles, where we focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Nobody is perfect, but we can all strive to become complete as individuals. So, for today's video, I want you to like, comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching, put a lot of time and effort into the video to help you guys out as much as possible. So just hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're on, get my notifications. Also check out the website, completelifestyle.co. So getting into the video today, as you see the thumbnail, it says don't be a slave. And so when I'm talking about that, it's more so not necessarily in the form of don't go back to slavery where you're in chains and shackles physically and they're whipping you, etc., etc. It is from the aspect of a quote that I read earlier, and it says, a man becomes a slave to anything he can't walk away from. This goes for pleasure, women, bad habits. Conquer yourself first. And so, in that context, is kind of where I want to keep this video for today. And it is more of a mental slavery than an actual, and physical, I guess, can be in it too if you can't physically walk away, also. But it's more mindset wise in things that we feel like we are tied down to that we can't go anywhere. So, first one is pleasure. Everybody wants to be pleased at some point in time, some point in life. You go through moments where you want to feel satisfaction, enjoyment. But at the same time, if it is something that is hurting you in the long run, let's just say drugs give you a pleasure for the moment. You feel a high, but then it goes away, and then what happens? You like it, so you start to chase that high. So then you can't get away from it because it is considered slavery because you are attached to it. You cannot get away from it. That is what it is called when people have an addiction to it. For also, when I guess if you're looking at women, women are some of the most beautiful things on this earth. Woman can be your downfall. If you are or with the right woman, she can add value to your life. Well, for this video purpose itself, we have a lot of people, a lot of men that are in situations and they rather the woman is toxic or she is not adding value to your life. Maybe she beats you verbally, maybe physically, she is abusive to you, but you choose to stay with her, maybe from fear of losing her, fear from her being with somebody else, whatever the case is. If you cannot walk away from the situation, you are considered being a slave to that situation, a slave to that woman, a slave to that mindset. So this is one of those videos where, yes, I do talk about the negativity of what's going on and keep you guys updated with the news, but my ultimate goal is to change the way you think, help you become complete as a individual. And this goes for women too. I just happen to talk about men in this specific video, but if you have pleasures, some of them call them guilty pleasures, and I'll go back to the first one where you can't help but eat, you can't help but watch porn, you can't help but spend money. Those are all things that, in some aspect, if they're being done the wrong way or they're not helping you in life, they are considered negative. Those are things that if you cannot keep yourself from watching porn, if you cannot hold out till you are with a woman instead of trying to manufacture a fake nut, you are becoming a slave to porn. If you're with, again, the wrong woman and you, whatever she's doing to you, you are choosing to accept it, choosing to stay, you are being a slave to the relationship, a slave to that woman. If you can't stop eating and it's getting bad for you health wise, getting bad for you mentally because it is affecting you, the way your body is changing, your overall life is going down. You don't want to be a slave to any of that. Also, you got bad habits. Some people like to smoke. Some people like to drink. Some people like to have sex. Some people, like I said, like earlier, like to spend money. Some people just choose to make the wrong decision, even though they know the outcome is going to result in negativity. They choose to do the wrong things. They choose to take part in things that are not what we consider positive. I talk a lot on this channel about your assets versus your liabilities. And you always want to be involved in something that would be considered an asset for your life. So the end of the quote says, conquer yourself first, meaning we don't like to be alone. We are not designed to be alone. However, when you are working on yourself, the best place or the best area to do that is by yourself, because you don't want to have distractions. Rather you have a kids, a family, a wife. If you're by yourself, it's even better. You can cut off as many things as possible when you're by yourself. But if you have kids, you have a wife, you have to take time to be by yourself, to work on the things that you lack, the things that you need to work on, the things that will help you become a better version of yourself. And the benefits of that is it will help your life become better in the long run. You can't work on yourself when you're spending time out with your homeboys instead of mastering your craft. You can't work on yourself when you're chasing some woman to try to get her a date. Meanwhile, she wants you to take her to get the steak with the lobster, and that's $200-300, and you trying to take her to Olive Garden. Work on yourself, work on your money, and then if it suits you, if it's not a big deal to you, if it's something that you're okay with, then yeah, you can take her to these type of places. You ain't got to check your account. You ain't got to look in your wallet, make sure that it's all there. You don't have to worry about your car being declined or how you gonna survive to the next paycheck after you spend it, because you put in the work and you have the money, so it is nothing to you. So you always want to make sure you're checking off the boxes and saying, hey, am I doing something that I can't get away from, that I can't stop doing? Am I addicted to something? Am I a slave to something, whether it's mentally or physically, emotionally? You always want to make sure that there are no ties or chains that you are able to walk away. Now, what is the flip side about that nobody ever talks about? When it comes to a woman, if a woman feels like at any point in time you will walk away, you won't come back, you're not so attached that no matter what she does to you, you can always remove yourself from the situation, it's a turn on. Majority of the time, it is a turn on subconsciously to them, because the fear of somebody, of losing somebody, is a strong emotion. I should really be putting this on my Patreon now that I'm thinking about it. I should be charging y'all for this. But for the video purposes of today, I'm already in it. The video, the mindset of fear when it comes to losing somebody, losing something, it makes us gravitate more towards it. I'm in sales. When you are trying to get somebody to commit, somebody to show interest, somebody to actually come to where you are to check your product, to view your product, the number one thing is to create urgency. You have to always make a person feel like they are missing out. So that is tied into the not being a slave to somebody, feeling like, hey, there is a urgent sense of urgency. You need to make sure that you are doing what you are supposed to, because I can leave at any time because I'm okay with being alone. I am not a slave to anything. So that's it for today's video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll read it one more time. A man becomes a slave to anything he can't walk away from. This goes for pleasure, women, bad habits. Make sure you conquer yourself first, guys. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Anything you guys want me to talk about, I'm always open.